if the owner of it can take care of it, as he did, and we'll back into the permits later because it was an imminent hazard. Right. It was all over here on the car. The car was crushed. Right. And then yesterday, or the day before yesterday, the wind blew and the debris blew into the street here, which made it impassable. We had to have a police officer down there, there, and over there. And you have to have that because the danger is that it could blow over into this building. The danger is that, watch yourself, wiring could have been felled, and therefore electrocution could have happened. So we're happy to see this is mitigated, and you know, we'll move on to the next one, which will probably be Main Street to see where the side of the building got blown out. Some of these we're going to have to go back through community improvements to see if in fact the appropriate permits were issued prior to their construction, and this is how you figure out, you know, who's abiding by the law or not. If construction happened in some of these buildings that we're finding out now, then and we're done out of sequence, or the other term is illegally, then we're going to assess the appropriate fines and actions against those persons in the future.
But there'll be none against this gentleman?
I don't know yet. There were plans put in place to, as I understand it, elevate it to 4 stories. Those permits sat and they waited for an extended period of time. Whether it's us who should have done additional follow-up, whether it's them who should have come forward, we don't know. But does it to the end that people were injured, the liability is now on this property owner, without question. So
was anybody injured?
Yeah. Nobody, no life-threatening conditions, but
how many people?
I think there were 4 taken to the hospital. It was a Volkswagen, the whole back end of the truck. It's on the cable. It's the one that you showed the picture on cable. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. So
they may be cited.
Well, the process will be what it's going to be. I can't say. I don't want to speak out of turn. We will evaluate, as we do on all conditions, whether or not the rules were followed and adhered to, and where responsibility is. It's going to be assessed based on be it the cities, or be it the property owner, or a combination. We're going to make sure that that kind of thing gets alleviated in the future.
Can they continue the demolition without a permit?
Well, it's not considered demolition at this point in time. Well, it's demolition without question. The fact that it's an imminent hazard negates a lot of things. We're under a state of emergency, so a number of things that normally would be in place, you have to forego them for the sake of the public's well-being. In this case, once and that's one of the trucks, as you see passing by, that exploded. There were 5 of them. And so that's another location by which we have to take a look at the storage of vehicles, maintenance, whether or not they're adhering to the rules. You can't have an emergency by which you try to make things better. You got to do it beforehand. And sometimes we find out during and after that folks weren't attending to their conditions or to the rules. So we're going to use this as an opportunity to make sure that across the board everybody understands storage of hazardous chemicals, if you will, vehicles, flammables, buildings that structurally are not sound, whether or not adequate permits and stuff were issued. We're going to start looking at all those. So we're going to have to go through everybody with a fine-tooth comb. That's our premise. Okay.